kids, Bone Spur here. It's a 0 day, and good thing. It's raining out. So far so good. I've been picking these days pretty good, and I'm happy about that. Just want to make note that I have not combed my hair in 30 days. Can you tell? Yeah. All right, waiting for my friend Loretta from Oswego to come and pick me up. We're going to lunch. See you later. Here's my friend Loretta. She came, picked me up in Pawling, took me out to her favorite Italian restaurant here in Brewster. And Loretta, how do we know each other?
Oswego.
The Harvard of upstate New York.
Yes, exactly. A Vestal special.
Yes, special. And now, how did you just say the name of this trail that I'm hiking?
Appalachian.
Isn't that funny? Because the only people that said that way are Oswego people. So, consistency there. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking me to...
All right. What? My pleasure.
Very good. Thank you. All right, suiting up for battle. Got the Compede here. Got the moleskin here. Seal it up with the Lucchio tape. This is how Bone Spur the Appalachian gets ready for the day. Morning, kids. How you doing? It's Bone Spur here, the Appalachian, coming to you from Pawling, New York. Getting ready to get back on trail. I have Chris, the shuttle driver, coming to get me, take me to the trailhead. The objective today is to do about 12 miles. Going to get to the 10-mile river shelter, and that'll set me up nicely to get into Kent tomorrow. And great stay here in Pawling. Nice little town. Be nice if a few more of the restaurants were open, but it was just fine. I had pizza last night with Jessica and Cooker, which was terrific. Hadn't seen them since Duncannon, although we've been texting with each other, so it was really a good time. Really enjoyed that, had great conversation. Also saw Ballpark and AT Positive. They're here, and they're taking a 0 today, as are Cooker and Jessica. The Station Inn here in Pawling was just beautiful. A little pricey, but it was really terrific, and it was a great 0. So I feel good. Looking good, walking tall, talking loud, staying long. The Bone Spur, the Appalachian way. So I just pray that today, God, take me where you want me to go. Let me meet who you'd have me meet. Tell me what to say, and keep me out of the way. Amen. All right, kids, back to the big tree out on Westover Road. Big tree, big tree. That means one thing, it's time to start hiking again. Got 12 miles ahead of me. It's 8:15 in the morning, and I got to get going because I'm going to try to make the shelter. And beautiful day. Probably 62 degrees right now, sunshine. It's going to be low 70s. Great day to hike. And so we're off. Come along with me with Bone Spur, the Appalachian on the Appalachian Trail. Sort of challenging. Wet. Very wet. Looks like I'm going through a cornfield. I picked a perfect day for a 0 because it rained all day, and but now I'm seeing the results of that because it's quite muddy and the foliage is quite wet. All right, probably the easiest miles I've done so far. Just lovely. Little forest walk. Gotta go around the fallen trees there, but yeah, through pine forest, kind of a pine mat trail. Just beautiful. But now, just as I'm saying this, I've got to go up and around this whole tree thing. And, oh, but still, it's just lovely. Time to turn left. Oh, and go on this boardwalk. Lovely. All right, hour into the day, and I've gone 2.25 miles already. It's pretty good for the Bone Spur for less than an hour. An essential part of the AT experience are the shuttle drivers. So critical. It's not like all the trailheads go right through the towns, or the trail goes right through the towns. Sometimes it's several miles out. For instance, today I needed a ride to get 3 miles out. And Chris, the shuttle driver, came, and I didn't know about Chris, but I texted Rocky, who you might remember from Pennsylvania, who's a triple crowner, doing the AT for the 3rd time, and she's up, I think, Vermont now. I texted her yesterday, who did she suggest I contact for this part of the world, and immediately she responded and told me Chris and gave me your phone number. So that's a beautiful thing also, is the connection with other people on the trail who have important information and have connections that can be helpful. So now today what's happening is Chris dropped me off here. She took some of my stuff. She took my resupply box that came yesterday, which I didn't need it. I didn't need all that. And so she's going to carry that around for a couple days. She's going to meet me tomorrow morning past the shelter I'm staying at tonight. And I'm going to slack pack tomorrow. And then she's going to pick me up tomorrow night and then take me to Barbie's, where I'm staying tomorrow night. And then we'll kind of make a plan from there. So the shuttle drivers are a wealth of information and just so gracious and wonderful to get to know. So thank you, Chris, and all the shuttle people out here on the AT. All right, here's the Appalachian Trail train station on the Metro North. You can take the train here to New York. And I know some people who did that yesterday. Not me, I'm going north, because that's the Bone Spur way. Looky here. 7 miles to the Connecticut state line. Today started in the woods and went through some marshland, and now I'm going through pasture land. We'll see what the rest of the day brings. How unusual. I missed the turn and walked up this hill for no good reason. Back on track. I suspect I'm not the only person to have ever done that, because it looked like there were footprints in the grass where I was walking. Oh well. Here's the Wiley shelter. This is right on the trail. I have an old one. Looks like they have tent pads. Picnic table, which is nice. Not too bad. My original plan was to stay here tonight, but it's only like 12:30, so I'm not doing that. I'm going to continue. All right, kids, just breaking for lunch. And at the shelter, I had my usual Pro Bar, 4 figs, dried figs from Costco, 2 apricots, dried, and 4 drorers, which are South African beef sticks. It's my normal lunch. And today I've been reflecting on this, that not what I'm having for lunch. I've been reflecting on a quote that Sister Julie from Haven for Hope sent out in her daily email today. That's from Eckhart Tolle, the writer of The Power of Now. And it says something like this, that gratitude for the moment, I'm going to have to read it and get right back to you. It is through gratitude for the present moment that the spiritual dimensions of life open up. Last night I was having dinner with some friends who are in recovery. We're having some challenges out here in the trail, and that's something I was recommending, and because it helps me. If I get in the present moment and I'm grateful for this moment, it opens up a spiritual dimension of life that sets fear aside, that sets judgment aside, that sets worries aside. So today, I was noticing things. Just this, Richard Rohr would say. This flower, this blade of grass, this leaf, this tree, this pasture, this next step. All the troubles of life seem to fall off my shoulders at that point. If I can treat this hike as a series of present moments rather than a math problem to solve, maybe I'll have ears to hear what God has to say. So you might give that a try today. Be grateful for the present moment and what you're experiencing now. Thank you. Well, looky here. This will be my 6th state. West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, now Connecticut. No longer are we in pastures. Now we climb up the rocks. Up, 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 up. All right, at the top of 10 Mile Hill. Actually 10 Mile Hill. And here's the view, first view in Connecticut. Sort of a peekaboo view. Nice. So now all I have to do is go down the hill to get to the shelter, which is about a mile. All right, made it here to the 10 Mile River Shelter. And happy about that. Not too shabby. Left at 8, got here at 10 to 4, 12 and a half miles. Privvy's over there. I'm not sure where the water is yet. And lots of great tent sites also. But it's cool, and it's going to be cool tonight. So that would make staying in the shelter nice. It wouldn't be too hot, but I don't know what the bug situation is. And just great tent sites here. Here's one. One right there too. It's really nice. Nice rock to sit on. So we'll see. Convergence of a couple rivers here. I think one of these is the Housatonic. Very nice. All right, what was looking to be a lonely, lonely evening at an empty shelter has changed for the better, and I'm glad. See, people started coming here to get water, but then they were leaving to go down to the tent sites, which are beautiful, down by the confluence of two rivers. And I had already set up here, so I wasn't going to tear down and go down there. And I thought, woe is me, Bone Spur's going to have a lonely night all by himself at the empty shelter. But lo and behold, 2 angels showed up. You'll get to meet them in a minute. 2 angels of the night showed up here, so I didn't have to be all by myself.
Hello.
And here we have, what's your name?
Clementine.
Hi, Clementine. And where are you from?
North Carolina.
But you're moving to where?
Los Angeles.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
All right. And you, sir, what's your name?
100%.
100%. And where do you hail
Originally
from,
from Rhode Island, but I've lived all over.
sir? All right. So what do we have going here for dinner?
We had a little Idahoan potatoes and some premium white chicken, and maybe a little olive oil and some Snickers and an avocado.
All right.
Yeah.
Then what's going on here?
We got some multivitamins. We've got glucosamine and chondroitin. We've got probiotics. That's my normal program. And a few Benadryl in there for the measure.
All right. A few benzodiazepines just for fun.
No, I wish. We don't have those. So.
Terrific. Very good. And what do we have going here, Clementine?
An avocado, because it's the first night out of town. Some nice albacore tuna and olive oil, and butter and herb pasta side.
All right. Beautiful.
Very fancy.
All right. We're eating good
We
tonight.
are eating good tonight. Every night on the trail.
Good. Thank you for staying. I'm starting to get
Our
I'm starting
pleasure.
to get a complex. People were just coming to get water. They'd take a look at me
They'd
and then
meet
leave.
you and leave.
And leave.
No, seems good company so far, so good.
So far, so good. All right. We'll check in later.
Kids, that'll do it. Another great day on the Appalachian Trail, Bone Spur of the Appalachian.
Yeah, left Pawling this morning. Shuttle driver Chris took me to the big tree. Did 12 and a half miles. Just a couple little views. Variety of terrain. Everything from pastures to rocks and everything in between. Woods. But it was nice. I was by myself most of the time. And then I got here to the shelter and was concerned I was going to be by myself. But then Clementine and 100% showed up. And so we had dinner, and that was nice. And some other fellas showed up, and they're going to hike with me tomorrow. So that's good news. Anyhow, back at it tomorrow. Going to slack pack tomorrow, which is going to be wonderful. And then spend tomorrow night in Kent. So that'll do it from here, from the Appalachian Trail. So in the meantime, may your eyes be filled with wonders. May your heart be full of joy. And may your footsteps be firm as you walk with God. Amen.